Hey guys, how are you? It's Miss Katie. Welcome to Theater Talk on Tuesdays, our very first official one that's not an intro. Today we'll be talking auditions. So I'm just going to touch the tip of the iceberg because of course an audition is essentially an interview for an actor. So there is so much that you can learn about auditions. But I'm gonna get into a few basic things. We're gonna focus today on preparing for your vocal auditions for musical theater because our The Musical kids have that coming up next week. And I kind of wanted to focus on that for their benefit today. But in the future, we can focus on other things like film auditions and dance auditions and such. But today, vocal auditions. I'm gonna focus mostly on things that you can do before you even walk into the audition room to nail that audition. And if you'd like to learn more about things that you can do once you walk into the room for that audition, come join us. We have an audition workshop this Thursday from 5 to 7. We have 5 spots available, so join us. We also do private lessons that help kids prepare for auditions. So let's get started. One very important thing about your vocal audition is your song selection. It is just that simple. It's good to always have 2 songs at the ready for auditions. So 2 contrasting songs. Some people even have like these huge portfolios of musical theater songs. If you're interested in seeing what I'm talking about, Google it. It's insane what they carry around. But you should have at a minimum 2 at the ready at all times. Now, a lot of times when you audition, you'll see like 32 bars of music. Sometimes people don't even know what a bar of music is. So I have some sheet music here. See that? Oh, it is kind of hard to see. But see these lines here and here? That's a bar. So it's kind of hard to do this at this angle, but 1, 2, 3, 4, see, that's how you count your bars. So if you prepare 32 bars of music, you count them like that. Now, one thing to keep in mind is 32 bars of music might end in the middle of a sentence or in the middle of a thought for your character. Don't stop there. That would be so awkward, right? Just stopping in the middle of a sentence. Complete. You are allowed to give it completion. Even if it's not just a sentence, but a whole thought or phrase. Give your audition completion. Another thing that's important, and I see this mistake over and over again, don't audition for musical theater with a song that's like Christina Aguilera. She's on The Voice, so she's still popular, right? Or is it Ariana Grande that's cool now? I don't know. I only listen to show tunes. So don't use what's on the radio. You need to audition for musical theater with a musical theater piece. We can't get if you're singing in this weird stylized Ariana Grande voice, we don't see you as a role in musical theater production. Also, don't audition a cappella, all right? They'll either provide accompaniment, I always struggle saying that word, which is horrible because I teach musical theater, and they'll ask you to bring sheet music or you'll bring tracks. So don't do a cappella. Secondly, pick a song that you can connect to, all right? You need to act. I've heard before people call a vocal audition a musical monologue. That's what it is. It's a musical monologue. You still need to connect to the material and find something that emotionally moves you so that when we watch you audition, we're engaged and we're feeling it and we're feeling you feeling it. And that is what says to us, hey, this kid can carry a lead because they can emotionally connect. They can portray this character through song. It's not just about getting up there and singing well, all right? So keep that in mind. I also kind of want to share with you guys, if you've heard of Waitress the musical, it's one of my favorites. So there's this song, She Used to Be Mine, that Jessie Mueller, who is a theater goddess, sang at the Tony Awards. So I didn't know a whole lot about the musical. I'd seen the movie, but I hadn't really followed the musical that closely. And I saw Jessie Mueller's performance at the Tony Awards. And I was like, I'm hopping on a plane and flying to New York City because that was amazing. And I just want you to kind of watch it. I'll put a link in the comments because it is how she emotionally connects to the song is so moving. And that's what you need to be able to do in your auditions. I get a lot of people ask me, like, how do you deal with nerves? My kids are so nervous for auditions. There's a few tricks here. Honestly, audition as much as you can. Like, every audition is like taking a whole class. And the more that you do it, the more comfortable you are. So there's that. But also, practice. Practice a lot. There's a lot to be said about walking into an audition prepared and you're like, I got this. And then not being prepared and sitting there like, oh my gosh, what if I forget my lines? What if I mess up here? What if I mess up there, right? I always tell kids it's kind of like a math test or a test at school. Let's say that you practice and you practice and you practice, you did your homework, you did your review sheets, you did all that stuff to get ready for this math test, and you're sitting down with math test with your pencil, and you're like, I got this math, you know? But then let's say that you didn't do your homework, you didn't practice, you basically were playing Fortnite all night long and didn't study. Well, when you sit down for that math test, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I am gonna fail, right? Well, it's just the same for an audition. Preparation gives you the confidence that you walk into that room like, I got this part. All right, have an audition routine. You know, sometimes people definitely, you need to do your own warm-ups, you know, so you can, what is it, High School Musical, where they're like, blah, 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 or whatever. Do that stuff on your own time. Maybe listen to some music that gets you pumped up. Do meditation. I kind of like meditate and then like do one of those, it sounds cheesy, but those self-talks where I'm like, you're so awesome and you can do this, you know, do something like that. Have a routine that makes you feel good right before you walk into that audition room. Most importantly, have fun. We're doing this because we love it. I tell the kids when they perform, and the same goes for audition, have fun, and the audience is gonna have fun watching you. The people who are auditioning you want you to succeed. So don't go in terrified of them. Go in giving them what they want. They wanna see something amazing. So go, you know, feel good about it. Feel like they're on your side and they're rooting for you, and have a great time. So I hope these audition tips helped. I want to tell you just a couple stories of some auditions that I've experienced in my many years of directing and casting. Coffee, and if you know me, you know I love it. Okay, so this didn't happen at Spotlight, so don't sit there and think, what's that mean? I sat in on an audition once where somebody sang a song from Wicked, or maybe it was Aladdin, A Whole New World, but it was one of those where there's two characters singing. And they literally sang it as two characters. So it was like, and it was the most awkward thing I've ever seen. So don't do that, guys, okay? Some of the best auditions I've seen, and these have happened at Spotlight, so try to figure out if it was you. I've seen a very young child walk in and audition with like moves and used the stage and showed so much confidence that I still can visually see this audition. And I was like, dude, that kid was like made for this world. I also saw one recently where a kid chose a song that showed his vocal range. He hit these high notes. It was beautiful. But he also had in the middle of his song, there was dialogue. And of course he didn't have the dialogue because he didn't have another person to do it with him. But he still used that bit of the song to move around the stage in character, and he never dropped character, even though there was this bit of music where he wasn't even singing. And I was just so impressed that a kid that age kept in character that whole time. So those are some good auditions and an interesting one that I've sat in on. If you'd like to learn more about auditions, please come to our workshop this Thursday, 5 to 7. Watch out for more videos. Next week, because we have auditions coming up for Big the Musical, we'll be talking about, well, let's all be honest, this is a tough business and there's a lot of disappointment, a whole lot. So we'll be talking about how to build up that tough skin you hear about for the acting world and how to deal with all that disappointment. And parents, I'll give you tips on what to do when your child's upset when the cast list comes out. And I might even make a little private message just for your kids if you want to play it for them after the cast list comes out. If they're disappointed, even if they're not, it wouldn't hurt to hear it. So please join us next week. If you have any questions about that topic, feel free to post them in the comments. I'd be happy to answer them. I hope y'all have a great week, and I'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.